Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming in and joining us today. And welcome to our podcast, Soulful Growth to Success. And I'm so excited today for you and for me because we're going to learn so much about sound healing. How can we heal with sound? So, today we have Maria with us, and she is going to tell us all about sound healings, her business, and let's talk to her and get some insight on this topic. So, hello, Maria. How are you
Thank
today?
you so much for having me.
I am so glad that you're here and you have brought your instrument. I would love to talk about your instruments and about how does sound actually affects us.
Well, I'll just start by saying, I'm based in Cloverdale, and
Yes,
so it's really lovely for me to bring sound healing to my community,
that's
and
amazing.
especially like working with women. I found that it really helped me through my journey of like healing and calming my nervous system. And when I experienced it, I dove really deep, and then I started training and sharing. It was just something I couldn't keep a secret
Yeah, yeah,
because it
yeah.
worked so good. And I've been to yoga classes, I've tried meditation, but my to-do list could never stop. Like I could never calm down. My nervous system was shot. I was a workaholic, really way too stressed out. So when I found sound healing, I'll just play the bowl, crystal bowl. Imagine just breathing in that energy, calming your nervous system, and just receiving the healing vibrations for 45 minutes. Not needing to think about anything, not needing to do anything, just resting and recovering from your day. And when you are in the studio, feeling the 9 bowls that I play, and one is 22 inches, it's huge. You feel the resonance going through your body. It touches cells, it vibrates. Sound vibrates through water so well, and we're mostly water.
Mm-hmm.
So I explain it's like a cellular massage where people cannot touch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sound and vibration goes through and touches areas that you can't get to.
So when does this journey begin for you?
I started training 2021.
Okay.
It was actually during COVID. I was
Mm.
stuck at home. I was going crazy, like needed to do something. So I found this course online because I did already own a few crystal bowls because I thought they were beautiful, but I didn't understand the power. So I started doing online training, and it was Sound Healing Academy. They're based in the UK, and I could do my online training at the pace I needed. And then I started practicing with friends because part of the course is doing case studies.
Yeah.
That is where I really started to believe. Like, because I would try things out and then I'd be like, so what's happening? And just the crazy stories, people, visions, seeing colors, like it works on your, like connecting different neural pathways as well.
Yeah.
It's so big. We could talk for 3 hours.
Yes. And would you tell our listeners, like, what are the benefits of sound healing when you go deep into it?
So when people first come and they're just exploring and they're like, maybe it's a little weird or they don't trust it, number one thing that everyone can benefit is restorative sleep. After you come for sound healing, you have the best sleep of your life.
Wow.
Yeah, so it helps grip. It's like having a really great bath before bed, right? Just anything that helps nourish and support your self-care to calm your body down will be beneficial. So that's what sound healing does. I explain it like for me, when I come in to calm down, my brain could never shut off. But the moment you hear the crystal bowls, it's like clean slate.
Wow.
Yeah, you're just in this other world of peace and calm,
And grounded.
and you just feel like you're being like hugged. It's
That's
really
just
beautiful.
amazing. And we always talk, like, I heard this word called vibrations and frequency. Would you explain a little bit on that?
Okay, I will try my very best. I come from a place of experiential learning and embodiment and intuition. So when I heard the bowls, it made sense to me. I didn't have a lot of questions. But I watch documentaries about sound where leading scientists and researchers and like experts in the field share the history. Like we can go back to the beginning of the world,
Yeah.
the sound of creation, like it's a thing. In all the different cultures, sound is so important. So when you think about when the world came into existence, the sound, or even think like in our mother's womb, the first thing to develop is our inner ear. All we experience in our mother's womb as a fetus is sound and vibration, the heartbeat.
The heartbeat of the mother. Yeah.
So whether it's indigenous, Native American culture, Egyptian, Christian, Bible, like Indian traditions too, like it's all the same all over the world. So there is something powerful about sound. And so with vibration, I brought some little samples. We have like tuning forks.
Yes.
What do you think's like written in the walls in Egypt? There's symbols of people holding tuning forks.
Wow.
And so
I had
we
no
can
idea.
use...
I could imagine it goes way back. Hey?
Yeah. And of course, like Tibetan singing bowls. I brought one here.
Yes.
How ancient is this sound? Just do. And so when you are laying down for a sound bath, a lot of people that call it sound bath, sound journey, sound experience, sound meditation, whatever. Each facilitator does it different, but just to be able to come in and feel and reconnect, like get out of your head, come down into your heart, and just start settling. And that's where the healing happens. Because if we can get our body balanced and into a state of restoration, that is where the healing happens. So I love sharing the story of, I feel uncomfortable being called a sound healer because I don't agree with people being dependent on a healer, a shaman, or even our Western medical system. It's like we have the power to heal if we believe. If we can tap into our inner wisdom, our bodies know what to do. We are miracles. And part of using this modality is it's so gentle. People don't need to talk. They don't need to, when you go to counseling, you talk about the problem and you get overwhelmed and you get activated and you feel kind of helpless and no one can tell you what to do. You have to figure it out on your own. But with sound healing, you just get to a place of safety. And when you start understanding trauma-informed practices and how trauma works and how our bodies respond, when we are feeling safe, that is when things start to shift. So it's in the slowing down and it's in the self-care. It's not in the push or do things faster or like feel things deeper. It's more, let's just slow down and be held. And in community spaces, I have seen so much shifts.
So do you do like group sessions or individual sessions also?
So it's always great to start with group sessions just to see if you like it. Not everyone has a connection to music and sound. I personally do. That's why this works so well for me. I saw the link in how as a child was always drawn to music. There were songs as I was a teenager struggling. I couldn't understand my emotions or my feelings, but I'd hear a song and I'd be like, oh, that person's speaking my language, So there's certain things I saw through my life that music was so important. And when I found sound, crystal singing bowls and sound healing instruments, that's when I'm like, yeah, this is what has held me my entire life.
I didn't even know that actually listening to music or sound healing also activates your throat chakra. And I was like, okay, throat chakra is just speaking and talking and communicating, but it's also activating your throat chakras and all the other chakras, how sounds affect. So I know you brought these tuning forks and they are meant to heal each of the chakras, right? Would you explain a little bit about them?
For sure. So I have crystal singing bowls that are a chakra series as well. So it starts with the root, sacral, solar plexus, heart. So here, these are really cool because they're tuned to, they're planetary tuned. So this is actually an earth and Om tuning fork. So this corresponds to our heart. And where's the little activator? Do you have it? Yeah, so you could play it. If you hold it and you strike it,
And then this is the
Yep, and you
solar.
can put it on your body to feel the vibrations, or you could strike it and then play. Here, I'll do
All
it.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can do like an energetic wash. If anyone's familiar with Reiki, it's kind of similar.
Yeah.
You're just moving and connecting with the energy.
So these are all vibrates at a different frequency.
Yes. So this one is 172 hertz. So they are tuned to the specific. This one here is third eye.
Yes, that's my
This
favorite.
is Venus. Yeah, the planet Venus.
Yes.
There you go.
And Libras are planet Venus, right?
I'm actually not an expert in that, so
Yes.
I'll like default to your knowledge. And if you just strike it like
side.
more, yeah, the rubber only.
Okay.
And it's really important when you're experiencing sound vibration to connect with your breath. So when you strike, breathe it in, welcome it into your body, and it's the practice of receiving. So softening and allowing this
Does
vibration
it
to enter.
also help releasing the blockages?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people will have like maybe emotions start to stir, or you connect with a memory or things that we typically want to run away from or avoid. And that is where together helping guide people, we can allow them to, instead of run away or pull back or close off again, it's just like go deeper into
So
release.
if somebody comes for an individual session,
Yeah.
do you think there's always also an emotional release? Like, do people?
It depends what you're ready for.
Okay.
Yeah. I've had people, I had this one girl, she came, I strike the bowl, the first sound I made, and she wasn't expecting this, but she had all these tears instantly, the first sound. And the next day she emailed me sharing, I had the best sleep of my life. I have chronic insomnia and have not slept through the night in years. And I slept through the night and it lasted for 10 days. And she had a huge emotional release on the first sound I made. So how do you explain that?
Yeah, and I also heard that sound healing also helps you with depression and anxiety,
Yeah.
your mental health. So how do you explain that? Would you share a little story about somebody who has experienced it and found these amazing results and how they have healed?
So the vibrations so when you're asking about the chakras, there's specific frequencies that correspond to our chakra points,
Chakras.
our organs. Everything is vibration.
Yeah.
So once you start seeing, and even the sacred geometry is incredible. But once you start researching and understanding how to use the frequencies to support the person, so there is a lot of intake. So in a group session, I'm playing for the group.
Okay.
It's very high level.
Yes.
Do you like it? Are you trusting the process? And then people, if they want therapeutic support, that is when you come for one-on-one.
Okay.
Then we work 2 hours. I do an intake before you come. We make sure you're comfortable. You share what you're going through. And everything is connected. Mental, emotional, spiritual. So it's like some people come like, I have tightness in my body. Other people come for overwhelm. Other people come for, they're going through cancer and chemo treatment. I have some children that come because they have anxiety about school. And in the space, I call it my sound sanctuary. It's like people come in and there's something about the physical space that people feel calm, grounded, and they trust the process. So it's like if you can get to that, if you can feel safe, that's when the healing can start.
And I feel like the sound, the vibration just stays, right?
Yes,
In
yeah.
the space. And I also heard that, okay, there are sounds that are audible, but then they're inaudible.
Yeah.
Right?
So also when you're saying about the sound stays in the space, so the sound is entering our body and it's in us now. And I always say at the end of a sound bath, this is not where this experience ends. You will go home, pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to your sleep, pay attention to how this is impacting you for the days following.
Yeah. I actually went for a session yesterday. It was a chakra healing session.
Oh, awesome.
And then, that's what she told me. She's like, the effect would stay for 48 hours. So keep your mind open. There will be creative ideas. There will be, so when I feel like a healing session happens, it's just not for that then and there. And also the long lasting effects. That's why we're here, right? Like, that's how you're releasing it. All your traumas, all your blockages are melting away.
Yeah.
And I feel it's because of the power of now, because you are in the present.
Yes, you're really there in that moment. There's no distractions. So in my studio, I've been really intentional about creating a really nice environment. So first when people come in, they're like, "Oh, this is nice." Like they feel good. Then they hear the sounds and it's very sensory. So when people come in and they're experiencing this like healing environment, they just settle and you don't forget the experience. Like you can revisit it through visualization, but just preparing your body, drinking lots of water, hydrating yourself, allowing that cleansing, going home, having the salt bath. Like there's so many things that you can start stacking to get really good results quickly.
Yeah.
And I think you were talking before about like the throat chakra.
Yes.
I love working with people who are actually like who can feel comfortable or like working towards being comfortable using your voice because we all have an instrument, which is our voice, and even breathing and just doing the and like expressing and vocalizing or vocal toning. So first we get people to like feel comfortable breathing and expressing in a loud way because usually we just want to stay quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like maybe people are embarrassed, like, oh, I don't sound good, or oh, I can't sing because I don't have a good voice. But it's not about sounding good. It's about just allowing the vibrations to move through your body and stimulate different organs and shift energy. So when we're working, it's being able to feel into your body and feel when you're contracting, when you're scared, you have fear. Maybe you don't want to feel, so you're like resisting. You don't want to cry. That was my problem, so I'd block. But we need to release. We need to keep clearing and moving energy. So this is a practice of receiving this loving, supportive energy. And on the exhale, letting go of what no longer serves you. And through the session, it's like stay connected to your breath. Breathe in the sound vibration, release what you no longer want, and even placing our hands. This is so cool what I learned about the hands being connected to our heart meridian. So our hands are so healing because all of this heart vibration and healing energy and love is flowing through our hands. So I even invite people like if you want to receive or if you want to like put the energy back into a specific area that needs healing. So if you need throat chakra healing, you'd place your hands on your throat and just allow your body to feel the support and care and love going back into your body. So it's coaching, guiding, experiential learning.
And you brought this bowl and it says 528
528
hertz. Would you tell us a little bit about
So this bowl here is a solfeggio tuned bowl.
Okay.
And if you know anything about sacred geometry, this one here is a really powerful frequency. And it corresponds to actually shifting and healing DNA. It's said to like heal. It helps. It's also connected to like signs, wonders. And I have 9 bowls in this set. And this comes at the end in my I created a little protocol of like how I play, but this is in the final series in the healing series. And I only use these bowls for one-on-one sessions because they are so powerful.
And how many sessions would a person need to heal, or if you have like really big block or trauma and things like that?
People see results in one, as far as like, it depends what the healing is, right? But you will see benefits from one session. I like to book a set of 3 sessions only because the first time we're getting to know each other. We're building trust. You need to build a relationship with me, the facilitator, the environment you're coming into. You need to get clear about what you want. And you're also building a relationship with the different instruments. So once we do a little attunement and assessment, We find out what resonates with your body. We're finding out your custom little blend of instruments and sounds, and that's what we kind of recreate together.
Okay.
And then the second time, so some people, depending on what they're going through, might come once a week. Some people might come once a month. And I created a special package for my clients that like coming regularly. So they get a one-on-one session once a month, an aura reading, and unlimited drop-in sessions for like a package price. So yeah, I try to make it accessible. And if people don't have the money to invest in one-on-one, the drop-in sessions are still equally great. Yeah.
Very, very, very powerful.
Just depends how much like one-on-one custom attention you need.
So how long does session last for?
90 minutes usually, because you need to settle in, we need to talk. 45-minute sound healing session.
Okay.
And then I like to give space at the end for you not to feel rushed, because a lot of things can come up. And you also want to integrate. So integration is such a big part of the healing process. You can get an awareness, but if you need to rush back to work or rush back to your responsibilities, you are not fully integrating and taking advantage of what just happened.
Yeah.
So I encourage people, leave lots of space. If you need to lie there, if I don't have another session, I let my clients sleep. And I just allow them to be in that healing space.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you do retreats like every month, or?
I do retreats once a year.
Once a year?
Yeah.
Wow. Is
Yeah.
there any retreat coming up?
So yeah, thanks for bringing this up.
Yeah.
So I have an Instagram page called Pause, Reflect, Grow.
Okay.
And there is a beautiful retreat center at the UBC Research Forest in Maple Ridge.
Okay.
And it's called Loon Lake Lodge. And when I found this space during COVID, when my son was in the forest education program,
Yes.
and I went to visit him, like, I need to
Yeah.
host something here. This is gorgeous, and it's so close to home. So what we did is, because COVID had so many cancellations, I booked a weekend, and I can never give this weekend up if I want to continue going there, because it's so amazing.
Yeah.
So the first weekend in January, I host a women's retreat. And it's so great because we're all tired from Christmas and the holiday season.
Yes.
And it's the first weekend in the new year. So we come and we set intentions, and
That's amazing.
we reconnect after being like a year later. At the end of the retreat, I always do this special ritual of writing ourselves letters.
Yes.
And like, what do we want to call into our life? What do we want to how do we want to grow over the next year?
Yes.
So the Friday evening when we gather, we have a ceremony of reconnecting with our letters. And last year we were all scared. We're like, what if we're going to be disappointed?
Yeah.
What if we didn't achieve our goals? And so there's this like little hesitation as we all opened them at the same time. And then we did a round of sharing, and it was so beautiful.
Wow.
But just having women come together in community
That's beautiful. That's
and have
beautiful.
space, yeah.
So it's a weekend retreat?
Friday to Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Friday to Sunday. That's amazing. And when is it?
January 3rd to 5th this
3rd to
year.
5th.
So 2025. Yeah.
Wow,
So it's always Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Yes.
first weekend in January.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'd love to come. Like,
Yeah.
You know, it's just, and healing, I feel like as a community, as a collective, it is so powerful, you know, as coming together, because you also get inspired,
Yes.
right? And you also know that you have support at the same time.
Well, and especially in our culture when we're taught to don't cry, don't show emotions. You know, if you cry and someone sees you being weak, right, they won't
Fears that
respect
were
you. So
created.
we often hide. We struggle through it alone. No one talks about their problems. Like, we're not a village like we used to be, right? Like where women would gather and people would share. We are all driving to work, driving to our homes, putting our best face forward on social media.
Yeah.
But when you gather in safe spaces where you can be vulnerable and you hear other women share, we all have similar stories,
Yeah.
similar struggles. And then you start to understand you're not the problem. You don't have a problem. This is normal. Like, if we can all just share together,
Yeah.
we can be stronger as a collective, and we can support each other, and that it's normal. So it's so beautiful to be able to learn from each other and feel safe enough to,
You know,
be vulnerable.
I just read about this town in Himalayas, and what they do is they use barter system, and they help each other as a collective. You know, they heal each other, and that's the power of, you know, like helping and being together as a community. And also they were talking in that book was specifically about throwing garbage, like how much you actually throw out, like you keep on buying these new things and you
Yeah.
know and new things. But if you are we're using the barter system like we used to, like you talked about the community and how nowadays we don't even know who our neighbors are.
Yeah.
It is like alone, that lonely feeling. And us human beings are supposed to be in a tribe where we feel safe, you know, because we used to fight with the animals, and how we felt safe was when we were with, you know, even sleeping, you know, together. Have you seen that movie? Is it called Crudes, I
Oh,
think.
it's the animated
It's
one.
the
Yeah, and
animated.
the family
I
sleeps
would
on a
not.
pile.
Yeah. It's so amazing. I was like, yes, like that's how it's supposed to be. And now, in this millennia, we've changed so much that we're just about ourselves.
Yeah.
And look
We're
at
too
our
independent.
we're too independent, but look at the mental health, look at the anxiety, look at the like, you know, the cancer, like how the rates are going up
Yes.
because of this loneliness that we have created ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing, like beautiful to do this and to heal. I mean, you have such a beautiful gift, and I'm so
Well, how I ended up
so
coming into choosing this as like my like what I wanted to focus on in my life is I needed the support. I wasn't finding what I needed, and when I connected with sound, I was just like, this is working for me and I need to share this. Like when you find something
yeah.
so special, you can't hide it.
No.
You need to share.
Yes.
And that's when it's beautiful. It's like I've had beautiful mentors and healers help me. I'm now in a better place. I now can pay it forward and help others. And it's just really an invitation like,
Yeah.
if you're curious, come check it out.
Yes.
Maybe it's going to change your life.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll do sound healing like and it's so nice to layer it with like Reiki or massage, other like healing practices too. It's just something you can add to your toolkit.
That's amazing. That's beautiful,
Yeah.
Maria. And thank you for coming in our studio and embracing with your presence and bringing the instrument. I've got, you know, this tuning forks here. There's a Tibetan sample, and you did
Oh
mention
yeah.
about this.
One of people's favorites during the sound bath
Yeah.
is the ocean drum. I brought the really light one.
So beautiful. I actually felt like I'm at the beach.
Yeah. And that's where these memories come up too with the sounds and it just it's a feel good experience. So
Thank you, Maria. And
thanks for
that's
the invitation.
yeah, and that's a wrap for today's episode. And please follow Maria on Instagram. Go check her out, her retreats, her sound healings. And there's a page on your website that shows, or on Instagram.
Yep, if you Google Healing Sound Studio, I pop up on Google and then it links to my Instagram. I'm working on a website. And
Awesome.
yeah,
Yes, please connect with her on Instagram. Ask about the upcoming workshops, upcoming retreats, and you will definitely benefit from sound healing. And thank you for listening. And please subscribe to our channel if you liked our conversation and you want to know more about spiritual world and spiritual wisdom. Thank you so much.